What if a simple cup of coffee could change your life, not just for a morning, but for decades to come? Imagine a world where a cafe is more than just a place to grab caffeine, but a cultural phenomenon, shaping the way people connect, work, and even dream. This is the story of Howard Schultz and the Starbucks revolution, a journey from humble beginnings to crafting a global empire, fueled by the belief that freedom and creativity can be worth billions. Before Starbucks became a household name, Howard Schultz was just a kid from Brooklyn, growing up in public housing with little more than ambition and imagination. His father, a truck driver, never caught a break, and young Howard watched firsthand the struggles of the working class. But sometimes adversity plants the seeds of vision. Howard earned a football scholarship to Northern Michigan University, an escape, but also a lesson in resilience. After graduating, he worked his way up in the business world, eventually landing at a small Seattle coffee company called Starbucks. Back then, Starbucks wasn't selling lattes or cappuccinos, it sold coffee beans and equipment. The concept of a coffee house as a gathering place was almost unheard of in America. But during a trip to Milan, Howard experienced something transformative. Italian cafes were vibrant, communal, alive with conversation and creativity. He saw, for the first time, how coffee could be a catalyst for connection. Returning to Seattle, he pitched the idea of turning Starbucks into an espresso bar, a place for community, not just commerce. The founders were skeptical. Schultz was undeterred. He left Starbucks, started his own coffee shop, and proved the model worked. Eventually, he bought Starbucks, merging his vision with their legacy. That's when the real journey began. Howard's approach wasn't about the coffee alone, it was about experience. He believed people craved a third place, beyond home and work, where they could feel a sense of belonging. Freedom to create, to connect, to pause. This wasn't just business strategy, it was a philosophy rooted in the belief that value is created when people are empowered to express themselves. Schultz took risks. He offered health insurance to part-time employees, a radical move at the time. He introduced stock options, calling employees partners, not just workers. In doing so, he built a culture of ownership, loyalty, and pride, a rare feat in American retail. Starbucks stores became sanctuaries for creativity and collaboration. Writers penned novels at their tables, entrepreneurs sketched out business plans, students crammed for exams, artists drew inspiration, and strangers became friends, all over a cup of coffee. But Starbucks' ascent wasn't just about the ambience. Behind the scenes, Schultz was a relentless innovator. He pioneered the idea of ethical sourcing and direct relationships with coffee farmers, investing in communities across the globe. Starbucks began to set trends rather than follow them, frappuccinos, mobile ordering, and even Wi-Fi in stores before it was the norm. Schultz's vision was global. Starbucks expanded into Japan, China, and beyond, bringing the coffeehouse culture to places where it had never existed. He faced skepticism, cultural barriers, and economic downturns, but he pressed on, trusting that the universal desire for connection and comfort would transcend borders. Every expansion was a calculated risk, but also an act of faith in the power of free enterprise. Schultz's story isn't without controversy. Critics accused Starbucks of homogenizing culture or pushing local cafes out of business. But there's another side. Starbucks created millions of jobs, supported coffee farmers worldwide, and set new standards for corporate responsibility. In many ways, Schultz exemplifies the promise of capitalism, the freedom to dream, to build, to innovate, and to elevate lives in the process. The company weathered storms, recessions, changing consumer tastes, and even a leadership transition when Schultz stepped down as CEO. But the culture he built endured, proving that a strong vision can outlast any single leader. Starbucks became a canvas for creative freedom, not just for customers, but for employees empowered to shape their own destinies. At the heart of it all was Howard Schultz's belief that business can be a force for good, a platform for unleashing human potential. It's easy to look at the Starbucks logo and see only a cup of coffee. But in reality, it represents a revolution in how we gather, share ideas, and find meaning in daily rituals. Whether you agree with every move Starbucks has made or not, it's impossible to deny the sheer scale of impact one man's vision has had on the world. Schultz's legacy is a testament to the idea that humble beginnings are no barrier to global influence. All it takes is imagination, courage, and a willingness to defy convention. If you're finding this story inspiring so far, take a quick moment to hit the like button, subscribe to Fortune Route, and drop a comment telling us which entrepreneur or business story you want to see next. Your feedback fuels our journey to bring you more stories that matter. Now, back to the remarkable journey of Starbucks. Few know that Schultz's leadership was shaped by deep empathy. He never forgot his father's struggles. This led him to champion benefits and opportunities for those who worked alongside him, fostering a sense of dignity in every role. Another little-known fact: Starbucks has a dedicated program for hiring veterans and supporting military spouses, recognizing the value of service and sacrifice. Schultz also spearheaded initiatives to support youth employment and education, setting up pathways for upward mobility that mirrored his own rise from poverty. Even as Starbucks grew, Howard maintained an obsession with quality control. Every new store, every menu addition was carefully tested and refined. He believed in adapting to local cultures, offering unique blends and flavors to suit regional tastes. Yet the core remained the same: a commitment to excellence, service, and community. Behind every successful innovation, there was a willingness to fail. Not all experiments worked. Some product launches flopped. But Schultz saw failure as a necessary part of creative freedom, proof that the company was willing to take risks and learn. That mindset, rare in corporate giants, kept Starbucks agile and relevant even as trends changed. The partnership model, treating employees as stakeholders, became a case study in business schools worldwide. It showed that shared ownership can drive performance and loyalty. Starbucks even offered free college tuition through Arizona State University for eligible employees, a move that would have seemed impossible in the coffee trade decades earlier. Schultz's journey also reveals the importance of storytelling in business. He wasn't just selling coffee, he was selling an experience, a sense of belonging, a daily ritual that became part of people's lives. That's why Starbucks stores are designed for comfort, with music, art, and a welcoming atmosphere. The message is clear: you're not just a customer, you're part of the story. Today, Starbucks serves millions of people every day. In over 80 countries, its influence can be seen in city squares, airports, and even remote towns. But the real legacy is intangible: the way it changed habits, built communities, and made the ordinary extraordinary. Schultz's faith in creative freedom, in giving people the space to innovate and connect, is the engine behind the brand's enduring success. He reminds us that capitalism, when paired with vision and empathy, can empower individuals and uplift societies. So next time you sip your favorite Starbucks drink, remember, you're part of a global experiment in creativity and connection. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Fortune Route. Let us know in the comments which a business icon or transformative company you want featured next. Turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive into the stories shaping our world. Howard Schultz and Starbucks proved that even the simplest ideas, when fueled by freedom and imagination, can spark a cultural revolution.